Kiarie. I'll be your host today. I'll be taking you through the introduction for AWIGIS. Then we have a guest called Sarah. She'll present something small about the country and why we are mapping Malawi. Welcome all. Thank you so much for joining. We are so glad to have you. Don't worry, if you've never mapped, we will have training each of category. So for intermediate, they'll have a certain break room, and for beginners, they'll have a break room for them so that we can all learn how to do this. And let's get started. AWIGIS is a community of African women who've come together from different parts of the world, who are GIS enthusiasts and also have studied in GIS. So the community members aim to allow members to be themselves, create networks, learn, get their career advanced, and get connection to job opportunities and showcase their work to the world. So our mission is to create a safe space and for African women to express themselves just partially and to enable them to grow. The vision is we aim to bridge the gender gap in the African geospatial industry. The colors, it has a signification to our goals and our mission. So for the green, leafy green, it represents our love for nature and geography and the earth at large. As we commemorate Earth's Day, this is very key to our color and we can relate to it. Pitch black brings about unity and support amongst our African community, and light gray is for gender equity everywhere in our community. We promote that in everything that we do. And pure white is for safe and safety, safe spaces and safety. So in our history, AWIGIS started in 2019, but before that, the founders of AWIGIS had already started something in their respective countries. So the founders of AWIGIS are Chidima and Siana. Chidima created the Women in GIS in Nigeria, started it in 2017, and Siana started the Women in GIS Ghana in 2019. So in June 2019, after Siana had started the Women in GIS in Ghana, they met with Chidima and they were in LinkedIn and they discussed why they wanted to do this. And in October 2019, they finally made it happen for everyone. So since then, we've had a lot of members join in. We are at 500 plus members from all over the world, and more than 9,000 followers in social media. I'm so sorry. Oh, okay, so sorry. Okay, let's continue. So we are widely distributed. We have Africans all over the world. We are so grateful for this. Our geospatial industry is really growing and reaching people all over the world, people from Africa, and especially women from Africa. So problems that we've influenced, that has influenced our existence, are we in this, why our existence, which is why do we do this? Because geospatial industry is male dominated, and we want to make it easier for the girl child to be able to access the geospatial industry. So lack of female role models. We want to create, we have mentorship programs and all, even these training sessions, we hold them so that we can be able to create role models for any child or any girl who wants to advance in this geospatial industry. So inaccessible GIS jobs information, inaccessibility and unaffordable GIS event and courses. And there's also so much lack of GIS potential awareness in Africa, as well as lack of grassroots awareness in Africa. So these are the key reasons why we do this and why our community exists. Fundamental problems that we are trying to solve and we are working towards it is African GIS industry and other STEM fields are predominated by men, as I said earlier, lack of proper career guidance. That's why we're doing this training and events to enable people to have a better platform for them to access this guidance, this curriculum, and also these trainings on specific areas. We host events every month. We do host an event, a training. So kindly keep it up, checking out our social medias for you to get a chance to access these trainings. So career path problems, as I said, we have a limited number of GIS-related jobs in African countries, inaccessible GIS job information, lack of female mentors, and inaccessible and unaffordable GIS events. How are we contributing to this? We are contributing to these challenges through networking in our community, learning, mentorship, and creating awareness through our community. So community activities that we've been part of, we've been doing webinars, as I mentioned, for Women's Day this year. We also did an event. We do this every year to commemorate Women's Day and to encourage women in GIS. And yeah, so African Women in GIS Mentorship Program has been running since 2019, and it has 9 mentees, 7 mentors for the first cohort, and it keeps growing as we continue with this mentorship. The mentorship program helps to connect women who are already experiencing GIS with people who are just starting up in the GIS industry. And it is a very good platform for people to learn, to be mentored, to network, and also to access job opportunities through this. So in summary, we are active in all social media platforms, especially LinkedIn and Twitter. That we are mainly active. So kindly follow us on those handles, the AWIGIS handle. And we aim to expand in the coming years to support more African women in GIS industry, introduce the younger generation to GIS careers. You don't have to have trained in GIS. You can be an enthusiastic or an advocate to GIS. So kindly join us in doing this and in creating this opportunity for the team. That's all. I'm so glad to have you guys here. We are, for this specific event, we want to contribute through mapping to the devastating natural calamities that have happened in Malawi, and that's why we're doing this. We are doing it in collaboration with OpenStreetMap and Hot Tasking Manager to be able to do a project that is under the Red Cross Malawi. So I want to introduce Sarah to come and give an introduction in details of Malawi and why we are doing this. So Sarah, I'll stop sharing the screen. Please, the floor is yours. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, Carol. Let me just quickly share my screen.
So Malawi is a country found in the southern east of Africa. Most of people know it for the beautiful Lake Malawi, which runs along the left side of the map. Malawi gained independence in 1964, and we're turning 59 years of independence this year. Currently, the population of Malawi is about 20.5 million, and it's divided into 3 regions. So the upper area is the northern region, and then the central area is the central region, and the lower area is the southern region. I live here in Lilongwe, which happens to be the capital city of Malawi. So Cyclone Freddy mainly affected the southern region of Malawi. This was this year in February and March. Apart from Malawi, it also affected Mozambique, Madagascar, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. So Malawi was mainly affected through the floods because of the Kiarie River, which runs along the southern region of Malawi from the lake to Zambezi River. The districts that were affected were mostly also in the southern region. So there's Blantyre, Chikwawa, which we'll be mapping today, Chiradu, Mwanza, Neno, Nsanje. Nsanje happens to be my home village. My grandmother lives there in Nsanje, and during the floods, the water almost got to her house, but luckily it didn't really get into the house. You could just see it from the outside, which I'm really grateful for. And the other districts are Palombe, Cholo, and Zomba. So Cyclone Freddy, for me, I'm 25, and my whole 25 years, I've never seen anything so disastrous like this flood. The southern region of Malawi always floods. Like, we always have minor floods yearly. And I'll have my grandmother telling me, oh, we had the floods, and everything will be fine. It won't be as bad and extreme. But then this year it was so extreme. It reached another city, Blantyre, and a lot of people died. A lot of livestock was lost, which was really sad and scary. So the records show that about 511 people died, and there are 577 camps currently holding people there, keeping people there. And about 1,724 people were injured, and 533 people are missing. This was taken on the 24th of March from the Department of Disaster Management Affairs. So I'm hoping that maybe some of the people were found. So yeah, why map? The data that will be mapped today, the data obtained will be used by the government, health practitioners, and humanitarian organizations to help assist areas that were affected by the floods. As you can see, these pictures were taken from the areas affected by the floods. The roads, most of the roads were beyond repair. A lot of people lost their houses, and us mapping will help people to actually reach those areas that can't be reached. And it will also provide data for an area that really doesn't have data, so which is a good thing because the world is going tech these days. And it will also add vulnerable communities to the map in general. So I think this is all I had. Thank you guys so much for joining to help map Malawi. And I know that you probably had other things to do, but you're here and that means a lot. And your little effort will bring so much change to our country. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sarah, for the
presentation. Questions?
Yes. Yes, if you have any questions, guys, about Malawi, please feel free to push them on the chat. Then she will respond to them quickly. Anyone with any question? Okay, so for this specific mapathon, we'll be doing Chikwawa District, which is on the southern part of Malawi. So I want to share the project link so that we can all get started, okay? I'm sharing the link of the project in the chat. After you create an account, you'll be able to access the project. So for me, I already have an account. So I've already opened the project here. Kindly let me know if you need any help. Sign up. Let me just share with you the link to the Sarah, Ransom is asking a question. Could you kindly respond to it?
Oh, okay. Let me.
He's asking, how can the data obtained from this mapping help Malawi? How can government agencies use this data to help the people?
So we'll be mapping roads and buildings. So for example, for the roads, organizations like Red Cross, WFP, they use that data to travel from different areas to the affected area. Yeah, and other donors, you know how, for me, I know the roads in Malawi, but then the donors and other people won't really know how to access districts. So the mapping helps them in that kind of way. Yeah. And also the buildings will allow them to know which buildings are still standing there right now. Yeah.
Great. That's why we are doing mainly this mapping on OSM. On OSM allows humanitarian agencies to reach the people. Mostly the government uses, or not uses, the government connects the people to and the humanitarians to these people so that they can be assisted. Mainly, you will not find government officers going to the ground. People who go to the ground are the humanitarian team like Red Cross, or WFP, as she mentioned, and also other humanitarian organizations that need to access these areas. So we are mainly mapping to provide enough data for them to know where am I going, what is in here, what am I going to find where I'm going, and what was supposed to be there. Because right now we are using imagery that was taken last year, early last year or end of last year, although Maxima is more updated, but we might not use that to map now because we want to see and understand which area has been affected. So we need to map buildings that existed, so that if they were pushed away or by the floods, we can know which areas have been affected with the floods. So that's why we are mainly mapping. So I'm so glad to have you all here. As I mentioned, I hope everyone has signed up. So you can create an account with OSM, and then you'll be able to sign up to log in using that account on Tasking Manager. I've shared the link on the chat. Kindly, by a show of hands, please tell me if you've already signed up so that I can get started on the project. I wanted to just give you an overview of how the project looks, and then we can move to our respective break rooms. We have 2 break rooms. I'll be taking up training for the beginners, and Sarah will be doing the training for, not really training, we will be mapping together. And in case you need any assistance, you just let us know. Sarah will be doing the intermediate and the advanced breakout room. So kindly sign up if you haven't signed up. If you have an account, please log in. Let's start mapping. We want to start mapping at 8. So kindly sign in. I've shared the link of the project that we are doing in the chat. Let me just reshare it for the people who have just joined to have access to it. Let's sign in to HOT, and then, yes, if you already have an account, just sign in and let's get mapping. So we are going to break into 2 rooms, beginner and advanced class breakout rooms. So this is because for beginners, we need to train first. And then after we train, then we can get started on the mapping. And then for the advanced and intermediate, they already know what they're doing. So we'll just get into mapping and tasks. So the project that we are doing is called, it's 14513. That's the code that you will look for when you're exploring the projects. But how do you create an account? You go to OSM first, create an account with OSM. Let me share the link. There's the link to OpenStreetMap. Create an account with them. Then come to HOT Tasking Manager, and then sign in using that account for OpenStreetMap. Okay, and then after you've signed in, use the link that I've shared for the project. It will just bring you to this project here. Okay, and then after you've opened the project, please let me know when you're ready so that we can all move to our respective breakout rooms and get started in the mapping. So I want everyone to to choose which breakout room fits them best, so that Sarah will be taking breakout intermediate and advanced. I'll be taking the beginners through the training on how to map. So kindly, let's get started. We want to get started at 8 on the dot. Or not 8, 8 in my country. I'm not sure which countries. I know we are from all over the world. So in the next 4 minutes, we'll be joining the breakout rooms. Okay, in the next 4 minutes. Anyone who is stuck, please let me know so that I can maybe do the signing in with you on Task and Manager. Sorry. Okay. Anyone who is stuck, please. Okay, if you can't hear us completely, just log out and then log in again. Like, leave the meeting and come back again, it should. And then you select join the audio. Okay. I am saying the one who is, oh, you've been able to, please edit your name so that we can know, so that I stop referring to you, the one, because I can't say your name. It's kindly change, sign in into the Zoom, and then we can be able to get your name, kindly. Okay, guys, so two minutes, and then we go into our breakout rooms. For advanced, please join the intermediate and advanced room. And for beginners who need to be trained first on how to use and to map, please join the beginners breakout room. Kindly, all of you, please sign in, log in into the accounts, the hot task and manager account, so that we can all get started. If you need me to reshare the link, kindly let me know. If you need me to reshare, okay. I've shared the project link in case you need any assistance. Kindly feel free to ask. And it's we can now join our breakout rooms, respective breakout room. You choose which room is flexible for you, or which suits your level of expertise. So if you're a beginner in mapping in Hot Task and Manager, please just join the beginner. If you're advanced and intermediate, please join the intermediate and advanced breakout room. Let's all join our respective rooms. Sarah will take us through the intermediate and advanced room, breakout room, and I'll take the beginner. So if you're a beginner, kindly join the beginners room. See you there, guys.